Good morning, everybody. It's PD week. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mr. Bowen's All-Stars. If you are new to my channel, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel to see more on my school year. I am going on my 15th year teaching elementary school, and I will be teaching kindergarten once again. So this is PD week. This is back to school week. Teachers have to report tomorrow. I am in my classroom right now, today, Monday, to just get some extra things done in the classroom. I'll show you what I'm working on throughout the videos, and throughout this week I'll be sharing with you what I do to prepare for Meet the Teacher Night and what I do to get ready for back to school. So let's get some work done in the classroom and see what we can get done. Okay, so one thing that I always want to make sure I do every year is I have a specific assigned place for students to line up. It just keeps from having arguments and fights over whose spot is what in line. So I always give student their own student number, and then I put gaffer tape on the floor. And if you don't know what gaffer tape is, it is this kind of tape that's used in theaters a lot of times when it comes to putting it there if you need to like peel it up later on. It doesn't leave a residue, and they use it a lot in theater when they want to like put tape down for like this is where somebody starts at their position or whatever else. So it's not very like pretty, but it's very effective and it gets the job done, and it's something that I can do very quickly. So I just put down the tape and I write their number in Sharpie. The problem is I want to make sure that I have numbers all the way up to 24 because that is the number of chairs that I have in my room, and I ran out of tape. So I ordered some more from Amazon, and it should be arriving tomorrow, but I got up to 22, which should be fine for right now because I only currently have 20 students in my class. But if you know anything about education, that it changes very quickly. So I could be getting more students here fairly soon. So I just want to make sure that I have enough just in case. So some more will be coming tomorrow. I'm going to get some other work done now. All right, look at that. I didn't record this, but this is where my student work is going to go. I got my Better Than paper in, and so I decided to hang up the Better Than paper here instead of on that other bulletin board, and I think it looks fantastic. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to label these for the outside of the classroom right next to the hooks so that students know where to hang up their stuff at. So I'm going to be doing a lot of labeling and also labeling the curriculum books so that I can get those out of the way. So the one nice thing about using student numbers is that I don't have to wait for a class list, even though I do have a class list. It's probably going to change here and there. Is when you have student numbers, you don't have to label their books. You can just label it with a number. So that way, when you get changes to your class list early on, only thing you have to worry about is making sure that you assign that new student a student number. And if there's any students that, they leave your class, you can just take that student out and fill it in with that particular student number. So I spent a lot of time labeling their books, and then I made sure that I put these stickers to match the book bins, because if a student, kindergarten, they might know their numbers, but they don't know all of the numbers in the right order. So if they take out their book bin and they want to bring it back, all they have to do is make sure that they just match the number with the right sticker, and away they go. I'm not surprised, but I was unable to really get any sort of time to fill you in, record anything during our all-staff PD, which is fine because it was a lot of sit and get, like every, all-staff PD is. We talked a lot about plans for this year to collaborate, since our building, as I said before, is got a lot of reshuffling that happened. A little bit more in depth of what was going on in our district. Last year, our district had 2 separate kindergarten through 2nd grade buildings. They changed that. They moved 2nd grade to all of 2nd grade to another building. And that building is now 2nd through 4th grade. And our building, they combined all kindergarten and combined all 1st grade into one building. So now there is no 2 separate K through 2 buildings. So we spent a lot of time today kind of talking about how the team's going to operate, what are some logistical things, talking about our PLCs, which for those that don't know are professional learning communities, and really kind of talking about how we're going to look at common assessments and all that. So it was just a lot of just heavy stuff that really, I was not in the mind space to film or talk to you about some of the other things that, I want to share with you. So what I do want to share with you, I did not end up going into the classroom either, obviously, but I do want to share with you what were some of the things that I filmed yesterday, which was just some work on the computer, preparing some printables for Meet the Teacher Night, which is tomorrow night. If you have not seen previous videos, I talk a little bit about it, but I can share with you now what are some things that I make and print out and have ready for parents on my Meet the Teacher Night. So I'd like to show that to you. All right, there are a few different things that I print out and make sure that I have ready for parents to fill out and look over when they come into my classroom for Meet the Teacher Night. This first one here is just a simple getting to know their child kind of information about their child's personality, interests of the student, favorite books, any extracurricular activities or sports that they like to participate in, and any kind of goals that they have for their student, for their child.
and strengths. And I just information that I would find useful to help me kind of get to know their child and make my lessons more relevant to them. Any special needs, anything that the parent would think would to be relevant to tell me in the beginning of the year. Then I also have just, even though like my school district will provide like the information about the student in our student information system, whether it's PowerSchool, Skyward, or whatever else, I just have this document available where I want to know just the most up-to-date information about the parents, their email address, and their cell phone numbers. That way, like if I need to get a hold of them right away and their information isn't quite up to date or available on our student information system, I can just utilize this document to help me get a hold of them. And also, it's a way that I utilize Class Dojo, that the information that they can give me, I can send direct invites to my Class Dojo. So just a very useful tool for me in increasing that communication with the families. I also, this is just my getting to know my about myself. Whoops, I bumped the wrong thing. This is just information about myself, about the school, about expectations, our recess expectations, the proper shoes that they need to have for recess, school supplies, how we utilize school supplies, that sort of thing. So just your basic newsletter, intro to the school year newsletter. And then another one is just kind of like things that they need to bring, some other pieces of just generic information about the school overall. So those are just the two papers, just the information papers. I print them and put them on front to backs to save paper. And then the last thing that I hand out to parents on Meet the Teacher Night is, how is their child getting home? For any of you that teach kindergarten probably can attest to this, but transportation at the first week of school can be a nightmare, especially if they've never been to school before or never had to figure out how to get their child home. We don't have that information. And so the first week, parents usually send their students home or have them get home differently than the rest of the school year. So I have one side that tells me, how do they plan to get home the first week of school? A lot of parents will do like, oh, we're gonna pick them up the first week of school so we can take pictures and everything else. And then the rest of the year, they might be a car rider on Monday, but then they're on the bus Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then they go to daycare on a different bus on Friday. I just like to have this information as soon as possible. So if I can encourage parents to give me that information at Meet the Teacher Night, it just makes my job a lot easier as we enter into that first day of school, that I'm not like trying to track down information about all my students at the last minute, because our first day of school, like a lot of schools, is a half day. So these are the things that I worked on yesterday night, was just kind of updating them for this new school year, kind of changed some things around since our new building has a little bit different logistics than the old building. So I think that's going to end for today, and we're going to pick up tomorrow with our building professional development, and we're going to get some more work done at my classroom and make sure it's nice and ready for Meet the Teacher Night.
Good morning, everybody. It is the second day of professional development. We are here in our buildings this morning and talking about schedules and getting everything figured out for what logistics look like and where the kids are going to go as far as lunch and recess. So Not going to do a whole lot of filming until this afternoon after lunch, as I put the finishing touches on my room for Meet the Teacher night. So we are about a half hour away from Meet the Teacher night. I am ready. So I'm gonna take a little breather, kind of look at some things on the computer, and then get ready to greet parents. The things that you saw me put on the table were just some gifts that I have for my students. It's a bookmark that has some fruit puns on them, and they smell like the particular fruit that is on the bookmark. And then it has then I also give them a pencil that has some sort of encouragement on it, and it has stars to go with my all-star theme. And then the other thing that I also put onto their tables is this colored wristband at the beginning of the year, just so that students really know where to go in kindergarten. We loop these on the back of their backpacks, and then we have a particular colored cone outside of our room that matches this color so that students can find where they need to go right away. And it also helps for at the end of the day, if a student gets lost trying to we get them to the bus or find parent pickup, the people that are helping can just see this color and know that it's one of my students, and they can communicate with me or I can communicate with them. So I am going to take a quick break and then start meeting parents. Good evening, friends. I am home. I did not do any extra work this evening. I am tired. Meet the Teacher night was good though. It's a good tired. It just comes from working essentially a 11-hour day, almost a 12-hour day. But I had almost all of my families show up for Meet the Teacher night. I think there was only 2 that did not come to Meet the Teacher night. So that was good. That was about what it was like last year. And had good conversations with the parents, talked a lot about, how I do things. They were very excited about Class Dojo, which if you don't use Class Dojo, definitely check it out. It's a communication tool that you use on your phone. It's very much like a Remind, if you use Remind on your phone. It's just a communication tool that you can use with parents. You can take multiple pictures. You can send class stories and stuff and share things that you're doing in your classroom. But it's also a kind of a way for students to earn points in the classroom. Anytime you catch them doing something good, they can earn points, and however you choose to use those points is up to you. There's also an extra game that if the parents sign up for Class Dojo, the kids can play this game on a tablet or whatever that's associated with their account. So I like Class Dojo. It's a great way to keep in contact with families. So parents were very excited about Class Dojo. I had a couple of siblings from students that I had last year, so that was exciting. Hannah was able to stop by because my wife she got done with her Meet the Teacher night before my Meet the Teacher night was done, so she was able to have Zachary go see his teacher at her building, and then her and Zachary and Hannah came to my building, and then Hannah got to meet her teacher in first grade in my building, and then they were excited to come and talk about their new teachers and everything. And Hannah was excited to have some of my former students in her class, so that was a nice thing. So all in all, a great meet the teacher, just very tired. And it's an even earlier day tomorrow. It's another all district professional development, but we start at 7:30. So I don't even know how much filming I'm going to get done that day. There are just a few more things that I want to make sure that I do before school starts, and I'm going to share with you the planning that I have for that first week of school for kindergarten. It is a lot of social emotional teaching. It's a lot of practicing of routines and procedures, but there are a few activities that I do with the class that I like to share, and I'll show you how I do it, how I break it down very soon, probably tomorrow or the next day. So it is bedtime for me for now, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, well, it is Friday, and today is going to be the last day that I get ready for next week, because I do not want to be here over the weekend. I want to have the 2 days to just kind of like mentally relax and prepare myself for Monday. So today I want to be ready, be ready by the end of the day to start Monday. So what I need to do today is I need to go through the paperwork that the parents filled out at Meet the Teacher Night. I'm going to finalize my bus list and my parent list or pickup list. I need to print out a few things that I'm going to share with you that I'm doing as far as social emotional this year. And I'm going to print out everything that I need for the first week as far as like activities and things that we're doing for the first week of school. So I'm going to jump right into it, and I'll share with you what I'm doing along the way, and we'll probably end this video. All right, everybody, I have been here long enough. Most of what I've done today, I did not record, mainly because it had to do with just like my individual students and figuring out transportation. And so I didn't film that. I spent a lot of time like preparing and planning for the activities that I'm going to do for the first week of school. and that's what you saw me do, like put those activities that I printed out on the copier. They were sort of organized and offset by the different activity, and I put them in the different days, and I put them in the different days drawer. I will show you what I have planned for the first day of school in my first week of school video. But what I do want to show you, which is what I laminated just a minute ago, and before I end this PD week video, is some things that I am going to implement in my classroom. I've done it before at a previous district a long time ago, and I really never had an opportunity to implement it again until this district, mainly because it just didn't really work out. The vision of the other schools didn't quite align with this, but I feel like this school really is going to get behind this idea, and it is called the problem solving wheel. And what it is really, I've noticed, and I'm sure many teachers have noticed, that students are just coming into school not having tools to deal with like big feelings, big emotions, and conflict. And so that is what this problem solving wheel is it gives students opportunities and tools to figure out ways to solve their problems. And you can see on this wheel, there are many different strategies that are available. There's 9 of them, but they're simple and they're easy to teach to kids. So I'll just go through the wheel. There's wait and cool off, which is a simple one where you just teach the students to do some breathing, some deep breathing, and then just cool off when they're ready to get back to whatever activity it is that they're doing. There is walk away and let it go. I love this strategy, the let it go, walk away and let it go strategy, because I teach the students how to like bring in, take all the mad and the angry feelings that are in our body and bring them up and kind of put them into a ball and then throw them away. There's a episode of Bluey, I don't remember the name of it right now, but there's an episode of Bluey that really does a good job sharing that strategy. And when I find that episode, I'm going to play it for my students when I teach this particular skill. The other strategies on here are also very simple. There is use rock, paper, scissors to compromise and share different activities. There's using an iMessage, talking about how I feel, apologizing if you feel bad about something that happened, and talk it out or ignore it. I really like these particular choice wheels like this when it comes to problem solving, because it really allows for students to take ownership of things that happen in the classroom. And I have found when I've used this in the past that students really try to do it on their own, and they like it. And it teaches them to manage those big feelings so that you're not constantly trying to put out fires, so that you're not constantly trying to deal with elevated students. The other thing that I'm going to post in my room, which goes along with that wait and cool off strategy, is these breathing exercises. These breathing exercises are very helpful and fun for the students to do. There's the STAR, which is smile, take a deep breath and relax. And I kind of like hold up, like I'm holding up that magic wand, and I breathe in and blow the stardust out. The balloon, where the students, where you put where your hands on your head, you breathe in, and the balloon flies away. The kids really love that one. The drain, which is breathe in, and the water comes out of the drain. And the last one is the pretzel, where you hold your hands out like this, clasp your fingers together and pull your hands through like this, and then you breathe in and out. So I am putting this on I'm posting this up in my classroom as well. And I really feel strongly about this. I really like using the problem solving wheel and the breathing exercises because I believe that it'll help my students take ownership of managing their big feelings and emotions, and it will hopefully help make this a smooth year in kindergarten. So I'm going to end this video. I've talked enough today and I've done enough work. I'm going to head on out of here and enjoy the weekend. And I will see you on Monday for my first week of school video. As always, make sure to like and subscribe so that you can catch up on the latest things that are happening in Mr. Bowen's All-Stars. And we'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching.